Wow.
Yeah.
When it's all turned on, it's pretty incredible, isn't it?
That was bad. Oh, jeez.
Gonna need to jump.
Huh? Is it worth it? No! Ugh. Come on. Well, that was worth it. Ooh, that was close. What are you peeing?
They're here already? They're scavengers.
We did the work. They don't get to reap the benefits.
Don't go up. Oh, during. What, you guys handle that. Of course, the beast.
Forgot about the remnant, didn't you, assholes?
My money's on the remnant.
Vetra, you're getting lit up from behind. I'm stuck. Leave me alone. Come up here. DB. He can jump. Ow! Health. I need health. Where is health? Please have health. Oh no! Nope! Run away. Run away. Try to survive. Finding ammo, no health. Not a good sign. Big guy's down. Oh, hello. Hello. Fire. These guys just endless or what? Jeez. There we go. Everyone good? Here we go.
Any idea what we're going to find here, Pathfinder?
No idea. But that looks like a gravity well.
Pathfinder, I am quickly building a workable database of the remnant language. We have not encountered instances of it in such abundance before.
Opposition's next move learned from secrets. From Gel. Take action. Protect the work. Individual life is nothing. The machine of life is everything. Secret. Wow. That's a nice skybox.
Damn, look at this place. I'm afraid to touch anything.
Finally.
This is gonna be a boss arena, isn't it?
A structure that big must have some kind of purpose.
What are you beeping? Is it below me? Whatever. I wanted to... Never mind. Blah.
Translating. Connection lost. Meridian engine not found.
Sam, is there damage here? Can we restore systems like we did before?
I'm sorry, Pathfinder. Systems are intact, but they are searching for a component that doesn't appear to exist.
What do you mean doesn't appear to exist?
One moment, Pathfinder. I have found something. Translating. Final Administrator log. The opposition's weapon may cause widespread damage. All our weapons, our ships, will not be able to protect us. Protect my goal. We need to disengage Meridian from Command Core, which will remain here to draw fire. Meridian contains all the work of the Jardan. Nothing else matters. I will send it far. We can return one day. Continue the process of renewal. End of log.
So, this isn't Meridian. Huh. The Archon was wrong. That's funny. I mean, it's horrible. But it's funny the asshole had no idea. We'll be able to bring it back, right?
They're going to bring the tower down!
This seems perfectly in line with how everything was going. Meridian's gone, and now we're stuck in a Ket shit show. Can I please get a break once in a while?
Ryder, focus!
We're fighting. The Ket are not taking us, not today.
Pathfinder, the Remnant City is not without its defenses. This is its central command.
Remnant defenses, of course. Use them against the Ket. Sam, now!
The Archon wants that one. Destroy the rest.
Hey, Archon sword. I'm Archon. I'm the gun. That sounded better. Shut up.
Watch your backs. It's one of those that can cloak.
Not getting past me, cloak or no cloak!
Big shield.
Off, visual on the leader. I knew those Ket were trouble the minute I saw them.
But what about Meridian?
Ket now, Meridian later.
Gotcha.
Boom! Hello. Get out of here.
Off, visual on the leader.
Sorry, Vetra. Oh, that's a...
Think you're so sneaky, don't you? It's like the
Fiend,
Archon
isn't it?
sends all its goons after us. Could this get any worse?
Fiend! Fiend! Fiend!
Think you're so sneaky, don't you? Where are you? Gosh! And don't forget the rest of those Ket!
Chain down.
Come on, where are you? Gotcha! And don't forget the rest of those 10!
Ground team, is everyone all right?
Everyone accounted for.
We saw everything from orbit. It was incredible. The entire city lit up. The scans went wild.
And Ryder? The Ket are retreating. Whatever you did, it worked.
They got the ass-kicking they needed. And delivered by us.
Given your command over the Remnant's defenses, Pathfinder, I predict the Ket will not attempt to recapture the city.
Any progress on Meridian? Have you got it working yet?
This isn't Meridian. Or at least not all of it. Hard to explain. We'll brief you later. So Meridian's gone. But shouldn't this thing know the nav point of where it went?
Contact with the Scourge will have altered Meridian's original path. It would take countless years to determine its current location.
All this remnant tech around us? The Jardin had to have a plan.
Their plan seemed to be, oh crap, let's get out of here.
Well, if the Scourge is messing things up, maybe that's where we should look.
Look at what, exactly?
I was actually hoping one of you might continue the thought.
Yeah, we don't have Meridian yet. But we took this city back from the Ket. That's big.
That just means we need to push forward before they can recover. We have to find Meridian. The real one. Sam, collect all the data you can. Radio the Tempest for extraction. This is going to take work. And it's going to take all of us.
Pathfinder, you seem well.
Just get to the point. We both know what you're going to say.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. We know you defied us. You went for Meridian in direct violation of initiative orders, even though our reasons were quite clear. Yet, you were correct, Ryder. We should have trusted your instincts. You have proven time and again that you deserve the title of Pathfinder. I have never been so glad to be wrong.
I appreciate your encouragement and your candor.
I am told there are still obstacles to reaching Meridian. The initiative stands ready to provide whatever support you need.
Oh, wow.
Pathfinder, if you're done with your call to the Nexus, I'd like to talk to you. I think I've found a way for us to find Meridian.
Well, first, we have a whole bunch of codec things to look at. The Jardin discovery. You learn that the Angara are the result of genetic engineering by ancient aliens called the Jardin. It remains to be seen what impact this knowledge will have on Angaran society. Many historical records of the Angara have been lost, but what survives tell the story of how ancient Angara achieved spaceflight. Eventually, they settled on 5 separate garden worlds, including Vold. The scourge struck in approximately 2400 by our calendar. The phenomenon devastated the Helios cluster, destroyed many Angaran cities, and sent their culture into a decline. This dark age lasted for over a century before the Angara began to adapt to the new conditions in Helios. Eventually, the disparate Angara regained spaceflight capability and re-established contact with one another, but the isolation had fostered separate cultural, political, and spiritual blocks. The Angara struggled to find common ground. This struggle was ongoing when the Ket arrived 75 years ago. The Archon exploited their disparity and began a brutal conquest of the Helios cluster. Ironically, as several Angaran historians point out, a common enemy provided the impetus to unite. Today, the Angara continue their efforts at reconstruction and resistance. We now know that circa 1600 BCE, the Angara were created and seeded across Helios by the Jardan. Records of this process are less substantial than ancient Angaran history, but it was apparently in service of a grand experiment. It is unclear which planet the Angara were seeded upon, and which they reached via self-developed spaceflight, though Horvoril is a likely candidate. Angaran historians are now reviewing what records remain either for tampering or cultural interpretation of events the Jardan set in motion. The Angara are the only known sentient species local to the Helios cluster. Scattered across numerous worlds, the Angara are reuniting as a people. Though much of their culture and scientific knowledge has been lost, the Angara continue to rebuild and resist the Ket conquest of Helios. From our cultural exchanges, we know that the Angara have a unique control over electromagnetism. Specialized skin cells and organs allow them to generate and control electromagnetic fields artistically or unleash them in combat. Oral histories describe how ancient Angara were tribal and nomadic before settling in cities. Many of them still live in large, tight-knit families and workplaces, have a guild-like organizational structure. Politically, the Angara remain divided. Attempts at a reform government were disrupted by the Ket. Approximately 5 years ago, a coherent resistance movement emerged on Aya, the first to draw unilateral political support, with the goal of driving the Ket out of Helios for good. Investigations have revealed that the Angara were created by the Jardan, the species responsible for building the Remnant. The motives of this creation are still unclear, but this revelation will undoubtedly have a seismic effect on Angaran society. The nature of life in the Andromeda galaxy was debated at length by Milky Way scholars. Many Milky Way species show convergent evolution, upright bipeds of a certain height and atmospheric tolerances, leading some to theorize this pattern might give some evolutionary advantage, despite some counter-arguments by Hanar scientists. Interestingly, the Ket and Angara continue to fit this pattern. The wildlife and flora encountered in the Helios cluster have adapted to the presence of the scourge, evolving epidermal layers or carapaces that can cope with ambient radiation, or in the case of some plants, successfully feeding off it. Many use bioluminescence to attract prey, or as a threat or mating display. Concerns were raised around the ability of Milky Way species to consume proteins from Andromeda, so seed banks formed a significant part of the Ark's cargo. We now know it is safe to consume food grown or hunted here, though enzyme supplements are recommended and have become a social norm at mealtimes. The revelation of the Jardan's experimentation in the Helios cluster allowed the creatures here to be viewed in a new light. It is entirely possible that many of these species were seeded or experimented upon, or that lessons learned were taken from them in the development of the Angara. The Jardan are a mysterious species or faction responsible for building the bots and technology known as the Remnant. According to recordings and findings from Kitasira, they were interested in not only wide-scale terraforming, but the creation of sentient life. One of their successful creations, the Angara, were seeded on multiple worlds in the Helios cluster. The Jardan's motivations for this creation are still unknown. Their work was disrupted by the deployment of the Scourge weapon, the result of either an external threat or a rift in Jardan society. This weapon devastated the worlds that the Jardan had cultivated and forced them to leave the Helios cluster. though not before disengaging Meridian and sending it to safety. The present whereabouts and disposition of the Jardaan are not known. Whether they will return to Helios remains to be seen. And I bet we would have explored some of this in a sequel. Remnant is the umbrella term coined for technology, structures, and autonomous spots that have been sighted across the Helios cluster. Seemingly abandoned by whoever created it, this remnant technology is extremely advanced, but most of it is in a standby state. On Habitat 7, Alec Ryder discovered that reactivating this technology required scanning glyphs, data packets written in remnant coding language, and my assistance with interfacing at particular consoles. This is complicated by remnant bots that still guard and maintain many of these installations. Remnant bots do not appear to be sentient, but they are programmed to consider any interference with their technology as a hostile act and attack single-mindedly. The kit have an interest in remnant technology and have been sighted across the cluster attempting to study or control sites where it is still active. Evidence suggests the kit have not yet developed a reliable method of interfacing. Investigations at Keys Tetsira reveal that the remnant were built by a species or faction known as the Jardaan. This technology was intended to foster life that the Jardaan had created, using the vaults to manage planetary ecology strictly, controlled from a central point known as Meridian. The Scourge destroyed the connection from Meridian to these vaults and deactivated many of the Jardaan's technological creations. The Jardaan left the cluster soon afterward for an unknown location, leaving their technology behind as remnants of their civilization in Helios. The Scourge is the colloquial term for a huge and extremely dangerous interstellar phenomenon sighted across much of the Helios cluster. It appears to be a cloud spreading in tendrils that affect planets and surrounding space, destroying starships that attempt to pass through or near it. Observations and data from their nexus now show the Scourge's tendrils are composed of radioactive, element-zero-rich dust and debris. Within these tendrils, thousands of microscopic and unstable warps in space-time are constantly erupting. These unpredictable distortions build up a charge in the EZO, causing uncontrolled mass effects that alter gravity and can rip a starship apart without warning. The Scourge's presence also affects nearby planets, raining down radioactive fallout and debris, or even altering the orbit of worlds that pass through or near it. The Scourge is aggressively drawn to remnant structures on planets, though the cause of the attraction is not yet fully understood. This manifests as further tendrils of dust and radioactive particulates that cling to the surface of remnant technology and interface with its operations. Either this matter was left behind after the planet in question passed through the Scourge itself, or even distant interactions with remnant technology can cause the Scourge to coalesce spontaneously. In either case, even this minor manifestation of the Scourge demands additional caution when approaching remnant sites. No long-range data showed any sign of the Scourge before departure to the Helios cluster. Nexus scientists suggest it must have appeared in the intervening centuries while the Arks traveled to Andromeda. We now know the Scourge is the fallout of a weapon detonated at Keys Tetsira. Dr. Eridana believes the weapon caused an instantaneous cluster-wide warping of space-time, briefly connecting multiple points in the Helios cluster at once. Her model suggests the warp effect annihilated multiple planets, forming the debris in the Scourge's tendrils, while the resulting radioactive radiation converted much of the debris to element zero. As we have seen, the space-time warping effect continues on a microscale within the Scourge to this day. Evidence in the IR vault shows the network of remnant vaults across the Helios cluster is controlled from a central point known as Meridian. When properly connected to Meridian, the vaults function as designed, terraforming and maintaining planetary conditions to make planets suitable for life. When disconnected, the vaults appear to either go into standby, as seen on Eos, or malfunction, as may have happened on Habitat 7, with disastrous consequences for this planet. This proves Meridian's central importance to remnant vaults and the planets of the Helios cluster. Whoever controls it can theoretically affect vault function, meaning they could control or disrupt the ecology of entire worlds. Following the Archon's data led to a gigantic remnant structure he had codenamed Keys Tessera. The Archon believed this to be Meridian, when it is actually just a command core. Records at Keys Tessera show that Meridian itself was jettisoned to safety when its builders faced the weapon which created the Scourge. Why are you stuck? Roughly translated as the place of ascension, Keys Tessera is a city-sized remnant structure in the Civ Key system. From our investigations, we now know that the Archon's research over decades led him to believe this structure was Meridian, control center for the Remnant Vault network. This may explain why Keys Tessera is one of the most heavily defended remnant sites in Helios. A substantial percentage of the Kett fleet is anchored here, while Apex reports the Archon had sent dozens of Kett cryptologists and physicists there in an attempt to solve its mysteries, with a battalion of Exalted to defend them. Approaching Keys Tessera, therefore, is to breach one of the greatest Kett strongholds in the Helios cluster. Even though Keys Tessera is not actually Meridian, but, as we now know, only a control module originally anchored into Meridian proper, the city remains a huge significant remnant site. It was home to a large population of the remnant builders, the Jardin, and still houses many of their experimental creations. The remnant ships housed there appear to be in working order, as are most of the databanks and archives. Preserved despite the Kett's efforts to ransack it for information, with study, the city could eventually present a glimpse into the Jardin's motivations and a better understanding of the remnant they left behind. Six points. Meridian was lost when the Scourge was launched against the Jardin. As the heart of the Vault network, it is the key to restoring worlds all across the cluster. Only when Meridian is found and secured will the future of Helios be certain. And you have all these additional tasks still to do, which I honestly don't know if I don't know.
You seem tired.
Pulled an all-nighter processing the data we received from the Remnant City. It's a lot.
Don't push yourself too hard. Someone's gonna keep me pretty.
I am level 62. I keep forgetting to collect my rewards after that. One cryopod.
Every time we fight an exalted Krogan, I think about how that could be me. I'd want you to kill me.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a pyjak scratch its butt?
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Shoot stuff and don't die. Always works for me.
We can talk more later.
Sure. It's not like being a created species really means anything. The Angara are the Angara. What matters in the end is that they exist.
We can talk more later.
Sure. Hey.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Pathfinder, thought you might be Callow. I asked him for nav data.
Data for what?
Mapping the Scourge. Now we know it's a weapon, I hate it more. Designed to isolate, lingers well after the war. I know what that is. It's a minefield.
They're vile. Because it's not just about watching your step. They make normal life impossible.
You get it. The long-term point is to hobble the way the whole population lives. Mark this. The Ket are bad, but whoever deployed the Scourge, they're some motherfuckers. Yes?
We'll talk later.
I know it.
Hello, Scott. Have you come to see if I'm finally broken? To see what discovering that my people were invented has done to me?
Just here if you need to talk. I can't imagine what you're feeling.
I've been staring out the window, trying to figure that out.
That's new.
True. Angara are usually very free with our feelings.
Not talking about all Angara. I'm talking about you.
I'm numb. I'm in awe. There's a peace in knowing that though the universe is beyond your understanding, it doesn't need your understanding to function. That you may even have a hidden destiny.
Does it matter? Your people aren't shackled to this new discovery.
I agree. We don't owe anything to the Jardan. Our destiny is our own. I'm not broken, Ryder. I'm excited. The Angara were created for a purpose. We were given vaults and golden worlds. All these advanced tools. And there is nothing the Ket can do about it. The future holds more for the Angara than a never-ending war on the Ket. Much more.
For the Angara? Hell, for all of us. These are amazing, crazy days.
Really crazy. Really amazing. It doesn't matter if we were created by a god, reborn from our ancestors, or exist as the dream of an AI superpower. This discovery changes nothing except ourselves. And that's
everything.
Do you have time to talk further?
I want to learn more about your species.
What would you like to know?
Well, enough about that. I'll see you later, Jarl.
Stay strong and clear.
Gotta say, you're handling this much better than I would.
Same here. I'd get nosebleeds just thinking about it.
Part of our design included how to cope with the revelation. But I think it's simply who we are.
So my buddy Jill, who, by the way, can't stop singing your praises, wants to have a baby. And, stop me if you've heard this one before, she asked me if I'd father it.
Wow. That's huge.
Right?
What the hell are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm still in the freaking out phase. Would it be totally crazy if I said yes?
I don't think it's crazy.
I mean, we're already family. I get her, she gets me, and we support each other unconditionally.
Wanting to give someone what they want most in the world is love, Gil.
I hear you. And you know I've been thinking about it, Ryder. Becoming a dad. I don't want to just be a donor. Bringing a kid into the world wouldn't be enough for me. I'd want to raise the child with Jill.
Sounds like you know what you want.
Yeah. It's funny, you can think until you're blue in the face. Sometimes you just gotta trust your gut.
I'm very happy for you, Gil. For both of you.
Thanks, Ryder. Or should I say, Uncle Pathfinder. So let me get this straight. The Angara were created, like, in a lab by another species.
A species way beyond our understanding.
It seems likely they built everything in Helios for the Angara, then. Maybe their intentions were good, unlike the Ket. Not many things break my brain, but I got pieces all over the place thanks to this.
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime. Hey, Ryder. What's the story?
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Ryder?
See you later, Cora.
I'll be here.
Hey, Ryder, you busy? I've got a surprise for you.
Vetra?
Sorry, this way. Watch your...
Ow!
Shins.
Can I open my eyes now?
Okay, just a little more. Good. Open. Surprise.
I don't get it.
I thought it would be obvious. It's a dinner date. I made it for you myself. It's steak. Cow.
Earth cow?
It just said cow on the packet. Does it matter?
I don't know if this is safe to eat, Vetra.
If you're afraid of bacteria, I'm pretty sure it's been irradiated. I wonder if it's still frozen on the inside. I've never cooked human food before. Never mind. I guess this isn't working. I just wanted to show you how grateful I am. This journey has taken centuries, but we see the destination clearly now, because of you. You care about my sister, you care about me. For me, not because you can get something out of me. I love you. I just don't want to ruin it. I thought...
Nothing's ruined. It would take a lot to ruin this.
Really?
This is why I want to be with you. All the things you do for the people you love. You're amazing.
I think I know how to make all this up to you.
Please, no more food.
No. I think you'll like this.
Pathfinder, you have new email.
It's my night off.
Just checking in. What are you reading?
Harry's latest report on Sarah. She's restless, but on the mend.
So you're not really taking the night off.
Work-life balance has never been my strong suit.
You love what you do. Nothing wrong with that.
Tell that to my exes. How do you do it? Be both Scott and the Pathfinder.
Pathfinder, Doctor, they're just titles, not who we are.
I don't know who I am if I'm not a doctor.
You're only what, 200 years old? You've got time to find out.
I hear Liam's planning to show some vids.
If our duties ever give us time.
Explains why Drac and PB are distilling something unsavory. Screw up the measurements and bathtub hooch can leave you blind, or worse. We can do better.
Better how?
An Asari liquor called Acantha. They used to run these wonderful black and white ads. There might be a bottle on the Nexus. It wouldn't be too expensive, I'm sure. Let me know if you find it.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me. Yes?
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
In the escape pod room. You should be too. Hint, hint.
Dinner tonight. Fine Guinean roast. Fresh vegetables. The roast will be in the galley oven most of the day. Don't open the door to check on it. When will this be ready? Smells dreamy. I said don't touch it. The juices have to settle properly. Tastes pretty good already. Thieves get sandwiches. Kalos soap opera OSDs. They'll stay lost until he stops watching them at full volume while I'm trying to nap. Dynasty of Stars is not a soap opera. It's a historic, award-winning extranet drama. How many Turian dramas run for over 70 seasons? Solarian casts age out a lot faster than Turian ones, and ours are quieter. Vetra, where'd you go? Hey Jarl, have you seen Vetra? Is she back in engineering again? I was just there. I just wanted to talk. There she is. I wish I could just jump over the railing.
We always seem to be so close, but never close enough.
You mean the Remnant City? Meridian?
I was so sure we'd reach the end. I had a bottle of Drossix Blue ready to go.
I hope you were planning to share that.
So I can wake up to the headlines, Pathfinder pathfinds victory, laid low by Turian brew.
Not a party unless I'm passed out at the end.
From your stomach literally exploding? Why don't I find something better suited to humans? Hopefully we'll have something to celebrate soon.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me. I always have time for you.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Yes, I do. Hey guys. Now to check on PB. What's up, Peebs?
Extreme.
I'm still trying to make sense of everything we learned at the Remnant City. I can't believe the Angara are designed. What are the implications?
That there's so much we don't know. It's humbling.
Well, I came here for mysteries, right? Helios is more and more interesting every minute. Anything you want to talk about before we head back into it?
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it. Hey, yeah. What's shaking?
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Ryder, Liam's movie night seems to be catching everyone's interest, especially Drac and PB. Well, perhaps we should talk. We might head off a medical emergency before it happens. Arrests are underway from Salen Varn. I thought you'd like to know we caught Ran Lon, or Lanton Rel, as he was going by on Kadara. Your activities caused a panic amongst the other conspirators, it seems. We've already caught Oben Keld and Neost Hearn. It's only a matter of time until we persuade them or that scumbag Aiden to give up the others. Well, I say we. I'm writing this from my hospital bed post-surgery, holding the dart they yanked out of me. The doctor seemed quite perturbed by it all. Once this medication wears off, I look forward to finding out what actual peace and quiet is like. Unless the Archon authorities need a counter-terrorism consultant, I suppose. Regards, Major Salen Vern, STG, retired. From Lexi. I've started my thesis on ket anatomy and thought you would enjoy some of the interesting facts I've discovered. Kett have 332 bones in their body. For comparison, human adults have 206. Kett have no reproductive organs. Similar to Turians and Quarians, Kett are digigrades. The bone-like armor that covers their bodies are actual bones. The Kett have double the amount of taste buds as the average human. Liam tells me this is a thing that humans like sending each other. It's a heart. Just so you know, I vaguely remember Kesh saying that Nexus leadership has access to all Tempest email servers, since the Tempest is initiative property, and all Pathfinder team activities should be subject to Nexus oversight. Not saying Tan's looking at our letters, just saying he could if he wanted to. So yeah, unless you want Tan to know what the Pathfinder is up to in their free time, i.e. the Turian on board, maybe keep the emails pretty tame, unless you do want to give Tan some kind of aneurysm. Possibilities. From Liam. I don't talk about stuff like this because my mouth's an idiot, but we're in weird space now. The Jardan made a people. Back in the Milky Way, we were knocking on the door of stable clones, but that's different. The bits are already there. It's snapped together. So I go down this hole about making life, and then I started thinking about Sam. Your dad made a kind of life. This amazing technical achievement that I look at and just... I can't even really get the edge of it. And it's in your head. That's pretty damn special. Like, I need another reason to think Pathfinder is something different here. I don't know the point of this. Sometimes you just write, yeah? Liam has included a list of media themed to creation. Genres include theological talks, scientific papers on technological integration, and a 1995 vid about an AI's choice of footwear. To error, addressee not found, forwarding to Pathfinder writer from Zoe Walsberg. Hi Callow, I'm trying the new auto address system you suggested. Hope it got your last name right. I wanted to say something. Thank you doesn't cover what it means to have someone share the burden. I'm tracking every credit though. Prepare yourself for a windfall later. Fly safe. Zoe. Oops. Don't worry about this, Ryder. I'll take care of it. From Cora. That remnant city got me thinking about my rose garden. Preparing the ground, planting for the future, all that. So the Jardan made the Angara. But what's the end goal? Were they part of some grand plan? Preparing the ground for something else? What if the Jardan had bigger plans for the cluster? And where we'd fit in? From Carrie. Hello, Ryder. Well, things seem more settled. I've been outside a few times, and the threatening messages are tapering off. Would you like to talk? I'd be nice to see you, and hear about this remnant city. From Drac. Hey, kid. You ever play fire-breathing Thresher Maws of Doom? Heck of a game. Vetra somehow scared me up a copy. Meet me at Vortex and we'll play. Okay.
So did you activate Meridian?
It was actually not Meridian. It was like a control. It was like the control core. Meridian was sent off once because the Scourge had hit.
That's what the Solarian Ark was worth to our officers? Thousands of lives for maybe a future advantage against the Kett? You're a better person than I, Ryder. I'd have toasted Adin in our thruster exhaust. But at least the dead and their families have some justice. Need anything else?
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be. What can I do for you?
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
Pathfinder. Just the person I wanted to see. Meridian. Set on a path its creators, disrupted by the Scourge, now lost. An unmanned ship is at the mercy of ocean currents. Now, think of Meridian as the ship, and the Scourge as the ocean. If we can somehow predict the currents and track them, we could figure out where the ocean's taken the ship.
That's genius. The Scourge is the sea, moving objects around.
It's not a precise analogy, of course, but it illustrates the point.
Dr. Anwar's suggestion may indeed be our best chance at finding Meridian. The more we know about the Scourge, the better we can predict how it affects the things it comes in contact with.
We'll need better data. Probes for the Scourge and Garen star charts.
The Initiative made charts of Helios from the Milky Way 600 years back. Perfect baseline.
I can compare that to Helios at present. It'll give us numbers, but one set won't be enough.
Sam, what exactly do we need right now?
Readings from within the Scourge itself, collected by probes planted at key points. Once enough data is collected, we'll need Initiative resources for mining and analysis. Once that is done, I can build a predictive model that will recalculate Meridian's path.
We have a plan. Now let's make it work. Everyone's counting on us. Let's bring them home.
We got a few things we should do first, though.
Yeah, like talk to people.
Yep.
Anomaly on sensors. Deploying probe.
This is one of the chosen data collection nav points. We should release a probe. The data collection probe is prepped whenever you're ready, Ryder.
Energy emitted from this area appears weaker than expected. A probe deposited within the center of the formation may be used to collect data.
Receiving Scourge readings.
Is all this swirly whirly the Scourge?
No, this is just the cluster. There are small Scourge tendrils in like these little clusters, these systems.
Is that what it is? Or is just all of it the
Well,
Scourge?
I think the Scourge is, well, this is where the Kitasira is, the control cores, and that's where I think the Scourge kind of emanated from. So yeah, this part, it probably has more Scourge in it than over here, say. Oh, and we got new clusters too. Oh, nice. But first, we're going to go to the Nexus.